should we start with the introductions this time? Because we forgot last time.
Oh yeah, I did not say who the hell you were. Oh god.
Yeah, we did it at the
mm,
end, but
yeah, no, I
yeah.
completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's just a complete brain fart on my
No,
end. I
you're fine.
apologize.
I do the same thing sometimes too, so I just wanted to remind you this time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. We'll make sure to knock that out first this time.
Yep. Okay.
So what I wanted to do today was you are probably, in my eyes, you're definitely a bit more of a serious player of this game. Like, you've gotten into the
Yeah.
PvP aspect, you're very good with calculations, you have a deeper understanding of the game than I do. And I find that all extremely interesting, so I figured today would be a fun opportunity to do an account review and really see, like, see into a bit of a different world, a bit of a more advanced view, and kind of build on this game. So that's the main goal of today.
Yeah.
And then, of course, introduce yourself in advance this time.
Yeah, so I'm Emmy. Just a little background on my history playing HSR. I started basically on launch. You can see I've got a really early UID, but I quit in like 1.1 after getting Silver Wolf. Then I came back in 2.0 for Acheron because I wanted to get Acheron. And then very recently was when I actually got into PvP and stuff, but my count is set up in a way that I was actually able to transition into PvP pretty well. But yeah, I was pretty much free to play relatively until My Day's banner, but that's just a little backstory on the account, so everyone has a little bit of context.
All right, yeah, cool. So now we got all the introductions and stuff out of the way. I feel like that basically covers everything I wanted to get preemptively done. So,
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, yeah, I think we'll just go straight into like the characters, and we'll look at some of your, favorite characters, some of the ones that you've invested in a bit more, blah 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 blah. Oh, actually, I do have one quick question. Did you come back just because Acheron looked cool, or are you one of those people who knew the HI3 lore and were just invested in the character?
So I haven't really played many other gacha games. I think I played like one other gacha game before I played Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah.
I mean, I played like 5 minutes of Genshin, but I don't really count that. Yeah, I played
That's fair.
I played like one random anime gacha for a long time. Then I wanted to quit that, so I was like, hey, let's get back into HSR because I enjoyed that and I liked the Acheron Black Swan ship. So
real as fuck. Actually,
Yep.
so real. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see my my pulling priorities differed quite a lot back then than it does now, but also
Yeah.
my pulling luck also differed quite a lot back then than it does now, so yeah.
Didn't you lose every 50-50 up until like 3.0?
Yeah, literally every single 50-50, and then almost every single 75-25 up until 3.0.
That is heartbreaking. We'll probably take a look through all the characters first, and then we'll start diving into each individual one. So, just to kind of look through a little bit. So, a lot of the recent characters. So, the Herda, then you got the Acheron, like you mentioned. We have Ho. So, is this also recent then?
Yeah. No, actually, excuse me, but I actually got Ho fairly early. I just like her as a character, kind of. Yeah.
Really?
I got her on her first rerun, I believe.
You know what? Fair enough.
So yeah.
No, I respect it. I actually quite like Ho as a character. I feel like people are overly harsh. Then we got Castris, of course. Fushuen. There's Mighty. I'm about to say the whole reason you're even here right now is because you showed up in the server and then gave an entire Mighty guide to everybody. That was it's incredibly helpful. Then Firefly, and then we start getting into some of the early characters. We got a Himiko, Gepard, then Kafka and Black Swan.
A quick thing about what I meant by my pulling priorities differed a lot back then. I pulled Kafka on the Robin's rerun banner, where it was Robin, Kafka, and Black Swan.
Oh, the triple?
Yeah, I skipped Robin to get Kafka because I wanted to run Docron. So at the time, my
that's
pulling
fair.
priorities were not meta. So yeah. I just liked Kafka.
Hey, don't worry, them buffs about to come in crazy. Kafka will be saved.
For real, yeah.
And then you did get the free ratio, so that's good. And then a bunch of 4
He's
stars.
not built right now, though. Well, he just doesn't have relics, honestly. But if he needs built, I can.
Yeah, but also, like, it's ratio in the nicest way possible.
Yeah,
All right, anyway.
Without Robin, he's a little questionable.
A lot questionable.
Fair enough.
But, and then we got the other 5 stars down here and a bunch of 4 stars, so. All right, cool. So, in that case, let's head back up to the start here, so.
This is my fast Rome build. Yeah, you can check and swap around a couple of her relics if you want to see my slow Rome build.
Oh, yeah, because then you also have a slow Rome build. I do remember you mentioning that was
if you check the shoes and then swap those out for the HP boots on Watchmaker.
So then slow Rome, 123 speed with 254 break effect. Whew. Pretty good, pretty good. And then light cone is Memories of the Past S5. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working on leveling up the Memories of the Past light cone just because I got into PvP quite abruptly. Like, I had to build a bunch of characters really quickly. So, working on a bunch of characters, traces, relics, and light cones very quickly because you can also see. Yeah, I also pulled Thirda, then E1 Tribi, Yunli's light cone, then E2 S1 Maide. And then I got a Fushuan, and then I got a E0 S1 Castris, all within 3 patches. So I had to build
deranged.
all of them as well. That's like a
that is an insane amount to keep up with.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually,
so I'm kind of out of resources. You can check how many credits I have.
Oh my god! Oh,
and I've been
and
I bought the battle pass recently as well. I've been farming credit calyxes, so yeah, resources are
and then 0 Tears of Dreams left as well.
Yeah, resources are a little tight these days.
I get you. All right, that's interesting. All right, so now we got the Rome out of the way. Okay, so now I want to look at this E1 Tribi because
this is currently the Castris build for Tribi.
Yeah.
If you check Cass's relics, I believe she usually has a little bit. If you swap her rope with Maide's.
Oh my god! Yeah, oh wow, that is. Whew, that is a very good rope. So
back to Tribi. She's on HP body because you get extra drain. Like you get extra charge on Cass whenever they're together because of the HP body. As well as, I don't have another good crit damage body on Poet, so it's just kind of an extra bonus.
Oh, don't worry. Tell me about it. I understand. I understand.
It's the most annoying thing about that ER rope, though, is probably the speed.
Yeah, speed doesn't really do anything here, but you know,
my other ER rope on that set's also decent. It's like
hold on,
just 22% crit damage, I believe.
Ooh, okay, so it's whichever one you needed more of. That's good.
Yep.
You have options.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because it's like with Tribi especially, like, what do you need the speed for, genuinely?
Yeah.
What do you need speed for on Tribi? Alright, so now we get to move on to, I was about to say, this is like one of your favorite characters.
One of my pride and joys. My
pride and joy. Alright, so Something that I was initially shocked by is the fact that you specifically got the Yunli light cone for Clara, which does make sense because it's a very good cone for what she wants.
It's by far her best in slot. It's amazing for her.
Exactly. It's a very good cone for her. I was just surprised because you don't see that too often as somebody getting the signature of somebody else to give it to a different character. Like it's becoming more popular since newer cones are objectively just better in most cases. But this one is just something that I had not seen mentioned before. It is a very good cone though. And then we got 3,500 attack, 90 speed, 74% crit rate, and then 174% crit damage. And then we're sitting at E4, which is already pretty good. And then I'll go over to relics. And physical damage boost as well. So 3,500 attack without an attack orb is crazy. I want to see the rolls on this. Oh, that's good.
Just keep going.
That is really good.
It gets better.
Crit rate and crit damage, nice.
Yep, another 4 roll. This one's probably the worst part.
Yeah, we all have a piece like this where it's just like it's not.
There's like
awful.
Slight bits of improvements I could do for the build overall, but it's pretty stacked specifically.
Like this piece would be the only one that's like, yeah, you could for sure replace that, and then everything else is probably like, yeah, look at that. Like everything else, this is about as good as you're gonna get.
I could make this a little bit better, honestly, but. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, it's all, but that's the thing, it's all, like, micro improvements to get that one extra roll into a useful substat. When you already have, like, 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5, that's already immensely helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the, again, that's gonna be probably the best Clara I've seen, because not many people really invest in the character nowadays.
Yeah.
So it is rare to see a Clara that good.
Don't worry about her light cone, because I got that quite recently, so it's not leveled or superimpositioned fully, so...
Hey, you ain't gotta worry about it. This is the same level as my RMC light cone, and it does the job fine.
Yeah.
The moment you get it to S5, you're set. You're done. You actually don't need the rest of the levels. Alright, so... the Herda. We got 3,500 attack.
The light cone is... yeah.
Oh, is this...
She's on ice damage sphere, so...
Where's crit damage? Increases by 48. I mean, yeah, that's not bad. I think that...
The light cone is probably the worst part of the build, honestly. I really want to replace it.
That's fair, but it's like, if you just don't have, like, the prime alternative, like, this cone does at least... like, this cone at least contributes to something for Herda. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
The best replacement for me would probably in the future, I want to get Battle Pass light cone, but that's going to be...
that is the best one.
That's like... Overall, it's like $50, I think. So I might end up just pulling her Sig, honestly.
Honestly, you're better off just spending 50 on a freaking top-up and just trying to get the Sig. I'm gonna be so real.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's just
well, I'm gonna buy the Battle Pass Lycone probably anyway, but
yeah,
I think I might get other Battle Pass Lycones first instead.
Honestly, I would still maybe look at one of the Remembrance ones. It's like... it's one of those things where Remembrance just has so few options that having another one is objectively helpful. Anyway, alright, so back to this. 76% crit rate and 133 crit damage. And then, out of curiosity, who do you run on your Herda team?
I have a couple different options, but especially because it's PvP, it really varies. But I think my best one, you'll see whenever you look at my my endgame history. You'll see that the team that I used to 0 with her specifically was Tribi, Small Herda, and RMC.
That makes sense.
But yeah, my Herda is weirdly rated. And if you know like those like build ranking websites, they have her surprisingly enough at like a top 1% for like E0 S0, but she's not actually that insane. She's like decent, honestly.
Honestly, that's fair, but it's
the Lycone is what holds her back the most, honestly.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that you have that much attack with like the decent crit stats. It really does help out a lot. Because even then, there's still like a bit you could improve with the relics, and then obviously like having a signature light cone is gonna do wonders. Okay, so Emmy died. We'll get in the meantime. Oh, hey, you're back. Are you good?
I transferred to my phone because my laptop is not cooperating at the moment. Yeah, my Acheron is questionable. She's passable, but I don't use her much anymore because I couldn't get Jopko because I lost my 50-50.
And that is, that's usually the reason that most people don't use Acheron, me included. All right, so let's get back into it. So looking at the relics here, we got 2 into attack, 1 into crit rate, 1 into crit damage. Pretty good, pretty good. 2 into crit damage here. Got 1 into crit damage here with crit rate. That's just some unlucky rolls. 3 into crit damage there with 2 speed. Solid. 2 into crit rate. And then we got 2 into crit damage.
She shares a rope with Thurda, so you can check out with the rope from Thurda. Yeah, it makes it a little bit better.
For sure.
Her crit rate's quite low. That's probably the biggest issue with the build, but yeah, it's because a lot of my relics right now are not double crit for her.
Yep.
Yeah, but if I do genuinely want to use her, I'll just end up putting her on the Poet set instead. Because she can function actually quite well on Poet over Pioneer. because essentially you're just trading one set that gives you crit stats for another set that gives you even more crit stats. So yeah.
I was about to say, and then in a lot of cases, you don't need Acheron to be fast, and then ideally you have you have some sort of action advancer with her at this point. So yeah, it's not really a big deal. I'm just saying, you got the light cone. DPS wealth, always an option. Always an option.
His idle odds might be a little bit too low for that, but maybe one day.
No. You just gotta believe. Alright, anyway. Alright, so next up is Huohuo, and then S5 Quid Pro Quo. Very nice, very nice. It's like you have 163 speed and you have 5600 HP. Yep, there you go. You're done. Good job.
Yeah, you can check if she has enough. Yeah, she's enough effect res. Good. Yeah.
Enough effect res. You got energy regen rope. Like you're set. You've done it. I've never seen the idle animation for Huohuo. That was hilarious. Sorry.
They're so goofy. Yeah.
I love their dynamics so much. All right, so now next up is Cass, and then we got full poet set here. So realistically, that's 92 crit rate. Very good. 190 crit
she
damage,
generally has
9,000 HP.
More, she definitely has more damage usually, because usually she'll be on Mighty's rope instead, but because I don't usually run them together. But right now, this is what I have: Tribby, Mighty, and Cass all on the Relic sets all on the Relic or builds that make them all look individually best because they all share some pieces.
Share relics.
So, yeah.
That's 100% fair. And then most importantly, you got the SIG down here, which is not essential, quote unquote, but yeah,
it really helps.
You really want it if you're going to be flying casters. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I also have E1 May, so it also really helps with that because I've got E1 Rune May, so the defense down compounds.
Like, if I was not so insistent on saving that golden character token, this Eidolon is so incredibly helpful for Rune May. It is. That is one of the highest value E1s in the game. Like, that is incredible. So this is another one I'm going to be curious about, because this is E2, and then
before you do anything,
Mighty.
Swap his orb with Tribby's, because they share an orb. I was giving Tribby that orb because it has speed on it. Yeah. So, yeah. Now he's a slightly bit slower, but it gives him like 1 extra crit damage, so yeah.
So here we go. So 8,400 HP, basically 85. 139 speed, 30 crit rate, and then 232 crit damage. Do you run him with Sunday or no?
Yeah, he's on Sunday. He runs a slightly different build if he's not with Sunday.
Okay, but cool.
Without Sunday, he has 8,200 HP, 50% crit rate, and then 200% crit damage.
Yeah, okay, so that makes perfect sense then, because it's like, what does he get off of that one trace? 48% crit rate, I believe? Yeah, so 48% crit rate, and then you're getting the 20 from Sunday, so,
yeah, it's 98% either way.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
So 232 crit damage. Yeah, overall, this is just super, super good. And then
check the relics to see my pride and joys as well.
10 speed,
for him.
1 HP, and a crit damage. We got
Scholar is probably
HP
one of my
crit.
best sets, honestly. Yeah.
And it's a good set to have a lot of options in, just because of how powerful it can be. Like, especially for a lot of the recent characters.
Yeah, well, yeah. His headpiece and then his boots are probably some of the best pieces on my account, honestly. Yeah.
And then 2 into HP and a speed roll with crit rate. Very nice. And then 3 into crit rate and 1 into crit damage. Nice.
On a speed boot, yeah. I've had people, like, threaten me because of that speed boot.
To be fair, I get it. That's a hard speed boot to get.
Yeah.
And then crit damage, and then 3 rolls into crit damage, and then we got a crit rate substat. Very nice. That is very good. All right. So now that we've gone through like all the star characters, because I feel like these are usually the more impressive ones.
You can just look at the main stats for the
so
the
now
Kafka and the Firefly are semi-built.
Now I'm about to just start breezing through. So
his crit damage is a little lacking because neither of the Penacony pieces have any crit damage whatsoever.
Really?
Because I just wanted to get him on Penacony, honestly. because
Oh,
they're
I see,
quite
yeah.
noticeable boost for my day. Yeah.
And then any 4-stars specifically you want me to check out, or?
None of them are worth checking out other than maybe the Gallagher, honestly.
All right, 163 speed with S5 post-op conversation, very good cone. E6 of course. And then let's.
Yep,
just
he's
look
for
at
my day, I believe, as well right now.
4P. Okay, nice. 4-piece of the Sunday set. 7 speed with 24% break. That's an incredible piece.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal
another
piece.
piece of all time.
4 speed with break effect roll. Outgoing healing boost with 7 speed and a break effect roll. Very nice. Speed with break effect. 7 speed again. And then 2 speed and effect res. Not bad.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good. Like those like first 3 pieces and all, those are incredible pieces. Where's the important one? Ah, no losses to Yanqing yet besides the first one. Very good.
Seeing as I only recently started spending, I don't have as many. You can see where most of my 50-50 losses went.
Yeah, that's kind of insane, by the way.
They went to one character.
They all went to Clara.
Yeah.
All right, that was yeah. I'm just really impressed with like the quality of a lot of those, and then I think it's also a bit different because especially when you're trying to get so many characters to like a very competitive level.
Yeah.
Then you need to do, I feel like, a lot of the relic swapping. Just because if you have a good piece, just having it on the one character if you need it for somebody else is just
one thing I learned is that like once you have like an okay baseline for most sets that you need, I have like a passable set for like most sets. Yeah. But then you want to pick like one or two sets to like get really good pieces on, and then spam those sets for what you want to farm.
Exactly.
Because for me, I'm gonna probably get a few passable win sets. Then the set that I'm probably gonna farm the most is gonna be Scholar, because as you see, I already have pretty good Scholar pieces. But once you get like those perfect pieces, like the boots, for example, on my day, you can get a really very good universal set. Scholar is quite a universal set as well, just because it's like a pretty good 4-piece and a pretty good 2-piece. So,
that's the thing, is that Scholar right now is just one of the best sets for like overall. Because look at it, it's going to be helpful for the Herda recent character. It's going to be helpful for Mighty recent character, and then you can apply it to characters like who are older, like for example a Jing Liu.
Yeah.
And so then whenever she gets buffed, a lot of people are gonna be regrinding Scholar to get even more pieces, but now with probably some HP on it. And then
it's just an amazing 2-piece, honestly, as well.
Exactly. Like crit rate. Crit rate is always helpful. You're never gonna not want crit rate. As long as you have this set, you're getting more of that. And then not to mention is that the other half of it is the Sunday set.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah. The Sacrados is also really, really good value.
Exactly. Yeah. That has to be one of the best relic farms in the game right now, just because you're getting 2 highly impactful sets that can work for multiple characters, because basically any support in the game right now can use that set. You can use the speed and the crit damage boost on it.
Yeah, you can check my traces really quick if you want as well.
Which one?
Like all my units as well. Because that's another thing that I find quite noticeable that really, really helps, is that once all your traces are maxed for you, especially like even just all the useful traces for a team are maxed, it becomes quite helpful. Because like everything compounds, honestly. Like 1 or 2 traces not being maxed, it really compounds.
All right, so now the other thing I want to do is we're going to go up here to Trailblazer Profile. Here we go, Battle Record Showcase. So naturally, 12, Force, and then max on 4, max on 4. This is the funny thing.
Yeah.
A true min-maxer.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I have zero-cycled both sides ever.
Yeah.
I believe this MOC was also one of the first times that I zero-cycled at all, honestly, because I didn't do it much before. I probably could have done it last MOC, because I had, obviously, My Day and Thirda at that time, so I probably could have done it, but I just didn't have the motivation, so yeah. Yeah.
No, that's
That third
absolutely
clear
fair.
is way more impressive than the mighty clear, honestly, because it's a 3-cost clear because it's just E1 S0 Triby and E1. No, it's E0 S0 third as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, whereas Mighty has obviously his E2 and his S1, and then
Yep.
you have the
He
Ron
can
May
easily-
E1.
Yeah. If it was E0 without S1, I still think he 0 cycles Kafka with that team, honestly.
Well, it's Kafka, so
Yeah,
that's definitely fair.
Yeah, that side was literally built for him, so yeah.
Whereas the
Don't
Flame
look at
Reaver,
my
like
defense,
that is a. Ugh.
Yeah.
I understand why everybody was so heated at that fight. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
struggle with it. I didn't struggle with it much. However, that Flame Reaver fight, I get it. Like, that was pretty hard compared to even what the last MOC was. I think it was just, it was Nikador. The Flame Reaver compared
Reaver's
to
quite
Nikador
interesting.
genuinely feels different. Like, it feels much harder.
I
Anyway.
can't wait till he goes to MOC 11. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna suck. But yeah,
Let's gloss over my
80,000
MOC
points.
attempts. Yeah.
Whew. Very nice. And then, of
Yeah.
course, we got the Herda down here, as you should. I mean, if
This
you're
was
playing Pure
honestly-
Fiction and you're not
yeah.
using the Herda, you're throwing, like, objectively.
I think this was on O2, honestly, because I was like 5 a.m. PF reset it, and I was like, I just want the Jades. Give me the Jades. So I just set it on auto, and I
Real as
did
fuck.
work.
Very valid. Very valid. And then, last but not least, Warlord of the Locust. 7,500 points. That is good.
Yeah, I believe that the cast team, I can get a 19. I can get like a 1912, I believe, clear on Hule with a cast team, with a cast ID team, but I believe it requires Triby over Rome. It's a little bit hard. Actually, no, it requires Triby over Sunday.
Yeah,
But
no, that absolutely
Sunday
makes
doesn't
sense.
work. Yeah, Sunday doesn't work amazing first half, so that's why he's slapped on second half to get just a slightly better score overall.
I mean, again, that makes sense. But either way, 7,500 points when... Yeah, the highest is not far from that. Very, very good. Like, as I was saying, that is impressive. Also, just down here, the simulated universe. Obviously, if you just keep playing, you'll get up in the simulated universe rank, but it's still... At a certain level, it gets hard. Like, people do not... I feel like people do not appreciate that.
Probably the most degenerate part of it is you check my mock attempts. That's just for this MOC, by the way.
Oh.
It doesn't carry over.
Oh no, don't worry. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh no, that's the first thing I looked at.
Yep.
But hey, you see that? You see that right there? 0 cycles, baby. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That's also just because with PvP,
No, I get it.
you end up with a lot of attempts. So
It's interesting because that is something I kind of learned when I was trying to do this most recent challenge that like I hadn't really experienced before, and then we had obviously talked about it a little bit, is having to actually learn rotation timings and all that, and trying to find like what is that most optimal route to get through this part of the fight. That's something that I've never had to do, not once.
yeah,
But then
it's
when
quite
you're
interesting, and it definitely shows whether you're gonna enjoy if you're gonna enjoy PvP or stuff.
because for me I found it interesting, but at the same time, it definitely does just feel like slamming your head against the wall for a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It really does, and it's like, damn, am I gonna get any closer? That's really what it feels like. And then, all right, so out of curiosity, how many... Oh, we're looking good.
Yeah, am right now. I built up a little bit of pity because I'm gonna cosplay Cypher, so I'm definitely saving up for her. I definitely want her a lot, but I'm probably also gonna get third as Light Cone. So because I also was completely out of materials, so I bought a lot of stuff with embers. The Ember shop just reset, so I've just been building pity on an Axe's Light Cone banner to get myself some embers so I can buy all the pools before it refreshes again.
That is so real.
I don't really have many jade sources. I don't have any jade sources left, I think, other than achievements, I believe, and then like farming for every single occurrence and curio in simulated universe, which I'm not exactly intent on doing that at the moment.
I was about to say, but that just gets so annoying. 966. Wow.
Yep.
I think
I've
I'm
got quite a
sitting at
few.
like 500 to 600. Jesus.
Yeah. The reason why a lot of them are missing is a lot of the stuff comes from whenever characters release, they have their individual achievements. So I'm missing a couple of those, and also a lot of simulated universe achievements I'm missing. So yeah.
I've never seen this screen before in my life.
Yeah.
This is something that I will never see for as long as I play this game. That's wild. But yeah, okay, so again, definitely a lot of like staying on priorities, definitely a lot of min-maxing and getting the most out of the game. Again, that's also just an impressive level of dedication, because I literally have a responsibility to play this game and make the content for it. And I feel like I do that to an adequate level.
Yeah.
You show me up in every single way, like, holy.
Yeah,
That's
play
hilarious.
So, yeah. I have a second account as well, because once you finish all the missions and then you get all the jades, there's not much to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into PvP. I got a second account. So just to keep myself busy, had to be creative. So yeah.
Honestly, that's fair. That's like,
yeah.
that's
I
one
don't
of
play
the
really any other games other than this, so that's why. Yeah, a lot of other people play a lot of other gacha games. For me, it's basically just HSR, so getting as much out of it as I can.
Which again is definitely fair, and I feel like that's also the difference, is that if this is the main game you're playing, like for me personally, I can't really, like, I have my main accounts, but then I can't really invest the time in another one just because I'm also constantly trying to upload and make content for it, so that takes up the rest of my time. And at the end of the day, I do also just love games in general, so I do try and enjoy like
That's
other
fair.
ones when I can. But anyway, we also got far away from the point where I was gonna say I haven't played the story yet, but I've seen a bunch of artwork of Cypher, and it's just made me like her more, so now I want Cypher.
Yeah, I really want to cosplay her, so I'm gonna do that over the summer.
Art of characters is the absolute worst drug, just because it can completely convince me on a character that I didn't want that I want them, and it's horrible when it does. I do think like quickly running into MOC just to smash somebody's face in would be fun, but right before we get into that, like let's do like one more little question section of just like how you personally got into like the sort of PvP stuff.
Yeah, I ended up getting into it because do you mind if I mention other creators?
No, please go ahead.
Okay, so if you know like Mr. Pokey, for example, he's a pretty large creator for HSR specifically. He ran a little bit of PvP, but right around as the time it was shutting down, another PvP server was starting up because some people who played in the format that was held in his server were like, it's shutting down, so might as well make our own. So
yeah,
I got into that. I got invited to it because I showed a little bit of interest, and somebody was like, hey, if you're interested in PvP, here, join this server that's starting up. Yeah, so that got me into it, and that was, I believe, a little over a month and a half ago.
All right then. I don't know, how would you describe that, like, just that kind of experience as? Because I feel like my viewer base is I feel like mostly casual, or like for the further extent, like people who can clear MOC 12, like they can clear the hardest content, but it won't be like to a 0 cycle level.
That makes sense. I enjoy PvP. It takes a lot of time to get used to, though. And it takes a certain account to be able to enter it so quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of the reason why I was able to enter so quickly is because, as you saw, I was very, very unlucky in 2.x, but my luck definitely took a turnaround in 3.0. So I have basically every unit that's released so far in 3.0 except for Aglaya and an Axa. And then I have 2 of them with signature light cones, and then 2 of them with Eidolons. Yeah, because I've got Cass, Triby, Maide, and Thurda, all with pretty good investments. So yeah, that was what allowed me to kind of just enter the PvP sphere pretty quickly, because I also had decently invested relics.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I think feel like that about answers everything. I feel like that all makes sense.
I mean, for people who want to get into PvP, it's not that hard. You just have to. It's a lot of resource management. I basically saved up quite a bit of resources and then kind of splurged once 3.x started. So that's how I was able to build up the resources to be able to enter PvP. If you just plan out your resources accordingly, and your pool resources, and as well your resources for like traces and everything, and build properly, because a lot of PvP is having like the 4 stars that you need built and having the relics quality to be able to put on those 4 stars, as well as having like alternate light cones is all very helpful. Because you can like look, I also have Topaz's signature, for example, even though I don't own Topaz, because it's quite useful to put on either if I need to use it on Ratio or if I need to use it on March or Mose. Yeah.
Also, just because I didn't really show this off, I can just quickly go through the actual light cone. So, like, we got a Clara one down here.
Yep, S2 Clara, Bailu cone.
Bailu cone, we got Solitary Healing, and there we go.
Yep.
And then we got some
Unfortunately,
of the,
my DDD is only S2, but yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the most painful part is, like, like somebody getting into PvP, that's got to be the most painful aspect, is just, it's such an objectively helpful cone.
Yeah, having light cones like Topaz Signature or Sunday Sig are very, very helpful for getting into PvP, because, for example, you can put Sunday Sig on Ting Yun, and if you look at what it does, anytime you use an ult or a skill, it regenerates energy for the user, so it helps a lot with Ting Yun's ult rotation, but it also gives a really, really high damage percent buff. It's a 45% damage percent buff, as well as regenerating skill points. So it makes Ting Yun generate a lot of skill points, which really lowers how much skill point usage she has.
Yep.
Also, it increases how fast she gets her ult back, and it gives a noticeable damage percent buff. Yep. So, yeah.
Also,
just having universal light cones like that is so helpful.
That's the other thing, is that like, people always get into arguments about it, like, about this kind of topic whenever it comes up in some of these videos that I make, but kind of just the importance of wise investment in this game really does go a long way in making sure that you're never really screwed, you never really have, like, a real down period with your account, because making smart investments, like this light cone, for example, like the Sunday light cone, this cone can be helpful for Sunday, it can be helpful for Bronya, it can be helpful for Sparkle, it can be helpful for Ting Yun. Like, this is such a universally helpful light cone, and then it gets to a point where for any of those characters, you don't really need their Sig because you have something like this.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Anyway, remember, chat, wise investments. Just wise investments really carry you far. Alright, cool. So, in that case, let's go fucking knock somebody out real quick. I'm not gonna do MOC 12 again just to save everybody some time at home.
If you want to do a fun carrier instead, you can just run Clara on Hule.
Clara on Hule?
Yeah, for MOC 11.
Hold on.
Yeah, it might take a slight second to gear, I believe, but you want to run Clara, Sunday. Yeah,
Jesus.
My Von Wax stat is quite good. It's like 13 speed collectively, I believe.
God damn. And then on Nikador, I'm just gonna
this team,
you got him cast.
with like a proper rotation, I believe, the Clara team should one cycle, but I don't know if it's consistent, so this team should survive them. Yeah.
Bowse, and I definitely don't know how to do it, so
yeah, just make sure to insta Ting Yun ult, essentially. That's like the most important thing, I believe.
So instantly mash Ting Yun ult?
Yep.
You got it. Oh, it's extra slow to make sure I can get the ult. That's so kind of it.
It's also because, you just got in.
So about to say, whenever you sign into a new account.
Yeah. Point of that, though, is you want to, because Clara's basic multiplier is actually quite high.
Yeah.
Since you don't have everything. You can Sunday ult, by the way. I don't think this will one cycle wave 1 without the perfect rotation, so it should be fine, though. Yeah, you can just skill on Clara. You just skill spam with Ting Yun, because she's got Sunday Cone.
Cool. And then skill again.
Yep.
So then skill again?
Yep. And then ult immediately.
This is interesting. Just mash the button.
Yeah. This might actually kill anyway, honestly.
There's a chance. Oh, yeah, that's looking...
Okay,
oh.
it might kill anyway. It should kill anyway, actually.
Welcome, customer.
It's just basic. Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
the difference was we forgot to ult on Clara earlier. You can ting your ult.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I figured, but I was waiting to see
Yeah.
just in case.
I think the only issue was that the initial Clara ult was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing that changed anything.
Let's be friends.
God, that does a shitload of damage. Holy.
Yeah, that's without Tribby too. So
That is
with
very
Tribby, it's
impressive.
a lot more too.
And then a Rum Maze skill after this.
Actually, save Clara ult.
Save Clara ult. Okay.
Yep, just go.
The skill. And then...
Run May. Yep, now Clara ult.
I want to protect
Gotcha.
you. Help me, Mr. Sparrow.
Oh, that's wise, I see.
Pray. Yeah, we pray they hit Run May basically.
Man, that's good.
Yep. We skill and then we
And then
ult.
double skill. Cool.
1001. Fight as
Did that select the right
Oh.
person?
It gave it to Run May.
Why?
Goofy. Okay, it's fine. Just Run May ult. And then skill Clara. Yeah.
What? I...
Yeah.
Why did it do that? Does it always do that?
The auto-targeting for Tingyan ult is quite questionable. So,
I was about to say, because usually when I do the auto-targeting, I've never had it select another support. That's wild. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Alright, my bad.
You're fine.
Man, that
But yeah,
is...
as you can see, since Clara gets hit a lot, that's why she needs her signature for this clear. You can ult on Clara.
Oh
yeah.
my god, that sound effect of him getting abused was
Welcome,
insane.
customers.
Good. Man, that damage is just incredible.
Yeah.
I need to be brave.
Ult
Yep,
this or
Sunday
no?
ult.
Okay, cool.
Sunday ult, yep. If you get Clara ult, don't ult here.
Don't
Wait
ult.
until after the sky. Wait until after the summon attacks.
Yep.
Yeah, skill, then shave Tingyan ult.
I was gonna say, she's still chilling right there.
Yep,
So now use Clara ult.
yep. Then Tingyan ult as well.
Yep.
Help me, Mr. Sparrow.
Thank you, Mr. Svarog.
Wonders to raise
Okay, not this time.
Yeah, not
What?
this time.
I want to
You don't
know
get us-
why.
Yeah,
There's probably somebody in the comments who knows exactly why that happened.
check the crit rate. We missed a crit.
Oh, I can't.
You can't, but it's 94 crit rate, so that's tragic.
Missing
Yeah.
a crit by... Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, normally that one cycles though. The difference is if you have to miss the one cycle. If you one cycle wave one, it slows
Yeah.
it down by a lot because you miss the extra AV in wave one.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah.
I missed by one turn on the stupid what's it called, the Clara counter. I let one more
Yeah,
get through than I
it's
should have.
fine. But yeah,
But yeah,
but
no,
normally
that
one
was really
cycles.
cool actually.
but because Clara gets hit so much, that's why you need the signature actually. And in combination with Sunday's action advance, the
Yeah.
way Clara's signature work is that when she gets hit, she heals based on her attack,
Uh-huh.
but it has to refresh every time.
Mhm.
And the way it refreshes is by her taking a turn. So in combination with the super fast Sunday, you can essentially force it to constantly refresh. So she gets a lot of heals. And the sustain list really comfortable.
Honestly, that's fair, yeah. That all makes sense. Anyway, with that,
Yeah.
I think we're wrapped up for today. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I feel like that really covered, like, everything I kind of wanted to go over. You know, we got to
Yeah.
go into the kind of deeper parts of the game with the PvP, with, you know, how building so many characters can kind of work out, the investment levels, and then even just making
Yeah.
older characters really excel, like Clara specifically for you. Like, you've made a very, very competitive Clara that works super, super well. Like,
yeah. She doesn't work into the current endgame
Yeah.
because it's Reaver and then Kafka, but against like bosses like Hule, whenever he comes back
Mhm.
to MLC 12, she'll be cooking. I don't think I'll be able to zero cycle with her because I can't even zero cycle the current Hule, but maybe if I get Robin one day, or just maybe with Cypher, yeah. But eventually I want to zero cycle MLC 12 with Clara. That's my goal.
And that is a commendable goal. Like, a lot of people would not be looking to do that, and that speaks a lot. Yeah, no, this was pretty good. Like, this was everything I was kind of looking forward for it to be, so I'm content with this.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it, yeah.
No, thank you very much for, like, agreeing to do this. I really do appreciate it. Again, it was, like, besides just being a very fun video, I feel like this will also be a pretty good, informative watch for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me sign out of here now, but... Alright, cool. And now I will hit stop recording.